Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So describing the glories of Balaram, we will proceed in the Chaitanya Bhagavat, written by Vrindavan Das Thakur, purported by Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So before starting, we'll chant the Mangalacharan. Ajanulambita bhujau kanakavadato sankirtanaikapitaro kamalayatakshav Vishwambharo Dvijavaro Yugadharmapalo Vande Jagatpriyakaro Karunavataro Namastikala Satyaya Jagannathaya Sutaya Cha Sabhatyaya Saputraya Sakalatraya Te Namaha Avatirnau Sakarunyau Parichinnau Sat Ishwarau Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nityanando Do Bhratrau Bhaje Sajayati Vishuddha Vikramaha Kanaka Bhakamalayata Kamalayati Kshanaha Varajanu Vilambishal Bhujo Bahuda Bhakti Rasa Vinartakaha Jayati Jayati Devaha Krishna Chaitanya Chandro Jayati Jayati Kirti Sasya Nitya Pavitra Jayati Jayati Nritya Sasya Vishveshamurte Jayati Jayati Nityam Tasya Sarva Priyanam. So Krishna and Balaram, they were singing to increase the satisfaction and the pleasure of all the living entities. It said one who does not love Lord Balaram, even after hearing Bhagavatam, is rejected by Krishna and his devotees. And Yamaraj punishes him birth after birth. So that we'll be doing 39th verse now. Bhagavata yena mane ye yavana sama tala shashta ache janme janme prabhu yama. One who does not accept Bhagavatam is no better than a Yavana. And Lord Yamaraj punishes him birth after birth. So Bhagavatam is Amala Purana that has been already described by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He has already given his opinion that Bhagavatam is Amala Purana. And here this word says, Vrindavan Das Thakur says, one who does not accept Bhagavatam, Bhagavata Purana. Bhagavata Purana is the most important Purana, which is the pramana for everything. If one is not accepting that, then Yamaraj punishes him birth after birth. In the Bhagavata Mahatmya of the Padma Purana, Uttara Khanda, chapter 63, it is stated, the topics of the Lord are realized by discussing Bhagavatam. One can understand the purport of the Vedas from every line of every shloka. There are many other similar statements in the various Vaishnava Puranas. So Lord can be realized only when we study Bhagavatam. What is the difference between Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam? Bhagavad Gita, the instructions of Krishna. And Bhagavatam is about Krishna. Bhagavad Gita teaches us what to do. Bhagavatam teaches how to do. Because what to do is okay, very good, wonderful. But how to do that? That is taught in Srimad Bhagavatam. That is why Bhagavad Gita Bhagavatam should be should be studied together. That is why Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, they have to be studied together. So we have this opportunity on Sundays. When we open Bhagavad Gita, we can understand Bhagavatam. We can understand the instructions which is there in Bhagavatam. When we study the instructions in the Bhagavatam or the Leelas in the Bhagavatam, Bhagavatam doesn't contain instructions, but it contains generally the Leelas. And there are instructions also given by the sages. So when we study the instructions given by the sages in their conversations, like Maitri Vidura Samvad is there. Yesterday we were doing Rudra Geet. When Lord Shiva is giving instructions to Pachetas, then we can understand the instructions given by Krishna very nicely. So that is why it has been very clearly said, Bhagavad Gita should be studied in the light of Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam should be studied in the light of Bhagavad Gita. Without referring to both, it is impossible to understand the instructions. You will just understand what to do, but if you don't know how to do, then you cannot relish what to do. Both has to be studied together. If you see in the purport of Bhagavad Gita, Srila Prabhupada quotes from Bhagavatam. And if you study Bhagavatam, in the purports of Bhagavatam, Prabhupada quotes from either Bhagavad Gita or Chaitanya Charitamrita. So Chaitanya Charitamrita, what is Chaitanya Charitamrita? It teaches why to do. So Sambandha Jnana is there in Bhagavad Gita, then Abhideya Jnana is there in Bhagavatam, Prayojana Jnana is there in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Chaitanya Bhagavata, you can say both Chaitanya Charitamrita, Chaitanya Bhagavata. That is Prayojana Jnana. So when you say Sambandha Jnana, first we should understand what is our relationship to Lord. You see in Bhagavad Gita, very clear statement, Krishna says, Mamaivansho Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. Everyone is my part and parcel. So in this way, we can understand our sambandha to Krishna, that we are all part and parcel of Krishna, we are servants of Krishna. Then the question arises, what to do then? That is Abhideya Jnana. Abhideya Jnana means what to do. How to do. How to follow those instructions. That is why Bhagavatam was existing, but it came to light after Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu emphasized on this statement, Srimad Bhagavatam Amala Puranam. Because what are the instructions, that how to perform those instructions, that can be only understood when we study Bhagavatam. Actually, there is a lot of confusion between Lord Shiva and Lord Krishna. Some say Lord Shiva is Bhagavan, some say Krishna is Bhagavan. There's always a fight between Shaivas and Vaishnavas. But very clearly, Lord Shiva glorifies that one who is devotee of Krishna, that person is very dear to me. And see the statement. Yesterday, Rudra Geet was so wonderful. We could not connect in the Zoom. Every verse of Rudra Geet is so powerful. Sometimes we'll take Rudra Geet in the Sunday Bhagavatam class. Once we complete with the Prachina Varhi and Puranjana Katha, after that we will take this Rudra Geet again. Because Rudra Geet, even if you read hundreds and thousands of times also, it is so wonderful. And it is said also, every day whoever reads Rudra Geet, they will attain that perfect devotional service by which they can cross this birth and death portion. So Rudra Geet is nothing but Lord Shiva glorifying Krishna. That is why we have to study Bhagavatam. Generally people say, once let me complete Bhagavad Gita, then I will study Bhagavatam. You will never understand Bhagavad Gita. If we think that after Bhagavad Gita I will study Bhagavatam, then we can never understand anything. Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam should be studied parallelly. Srila Prabhupada intentionally puts the verses from Bhagavatam in the Bhagavad Gita so that our interest in Bhagavatam should arouse. Every canto is Krishna himself, every anga of Krishna himself. Pado yadiyo pratama dvitiyo tritiya turyo katito yadur nabhi satha panchamayeva shashto munjantaram dorivalam tathanyo kanthasthu rajannavamo yadiyo mukharabindam dashamam prafullam एकादशो यश्च ललाटपट्टं क्षीरोऽपि यद्वादशेव भाति नमामि देवं करुणानिधानं तमालवर्णं सुहितावतारम् आपार संसार सामुद्रसेतुं भजामहे भागवतः स्वरूपम् भजामहे भागवतः स्वरूपम् When Krishna leaves to his abode, Krishna Sudhamo Bhagati Dharma Gyana Adivesah Kalau Nashta Drishamisham Puranar Padunuditah. At that time, the question is asked by the sages of Naimisharanya to Sutta Goswami. Bruhi Yogeshwari Krishna Dharma Gyana Adivesah Kalau Nashta Drishamisham Puranar Padunuditah. When if Krishna leaves to his abode, where will Dharma and Jnana take shelter? The answer is Krishna Sudhamo Pagate. Even if he has gone to his abode, he is present in the Puranarkaha. Which Puranarkaha? Srimad Bhagavatam Amala Puranam. Srimad Bhagavatam is the 18th Purana. And Srimad Bhagavatam and Krishna are non-different. Pado Yadiyo refers to the first two cantos of Srimad Bhagavatam are the lotus feet of Krishna. Third and the fourth are the thighs of Krishna. Fifth is the navel. Sixth and the seventh are the arms of Krishna. Eighth is the Vakshasthala, that is the chest of Krishna. Ninth is the Kantha of Krishna, throat of Krishna, Kantha. And the 10th is the Mukharavinda, the lotus face of Krishna. The 11th is the forehead, Lallat of Krishna. 12th is the upper head, upper portion of the head. So in this way, the 12 cantos are actually Krishna's body, Krishna Sarupaha. That is why the house which does not have Bhagavatam, it is compared to a crematorium. Padma Puran tells about this verse. The house which does not have Bhagavatam, every house should have Bhagavatam. Then you say, oh, so many books. When am I going to read all? If you have, then only you will read. No? And if you see, all opportunity has come. When we had gifted Chaitanya Chaitamrita to the devotees, they were thinking, when will we read that? Now see, 2 times revision is done of Chaitanya Chaitamrita, of Adi Lila. Sorry, Adi Lila 1 time revision, but Madhya Lila is going to happen now 2nd time. So opportunity has come. And Bhagavatam, anyhow, every Sunday we are reading. So Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Every day, if we do Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya, Chaitanya Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Bhagavat, Grantha Bhagavat has no much difference. Vyasa of Srimad Bhagavatam is Krishna Dvaipayana Vyasa, who himself appears as Vrindavan Das Thakur. Vrindavan Das Thakur is the Vyasa of Chaitanya Lila. So topics of the Lord are best realized by discussing Bhagavatam. The result of disregarding Srimad Bhagavatam is described in Hari Bhakti Vilas 10.2.77. Disregarding. In this age of Kali, one who considers Srimad Bhagavatam more dear than his own life will never suffer the punishment of Yamaraj, even for 100 kalpas. Also in Hari Bhakti Vilas, it is stated the wretched person who does not appreciate the study of Srimad Bhagavatam and who hinders others in his study causes 100 generations of family members to go to hell. One who studies Bhagavatam, Yamaraj will never punish. Instead, Yamaraj will be very happy because Yamaraj is one of the 12 Mahajanas. The biggest book of Bhagavatam is present with Yamaraj. Every day Yamaraj studies Bhagavatam. So whoever is studying Bhagavatam, Yamaraj is really happy. But those who disregard Bhagavatam, they will go to hell. In the Padma Puran, Uttarakhanda, chapter 63, it is stated, one continues to wander in the cycle of birth and death as long as he does not fit for even a moment. as long as he does not, for even a moment, hear the Srimad Bhagavatam, which was recited by Sukadev Goswami. He does not have time, then what will happen? Again and again, punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam. A person who does not hear anything from Srimad Bhagavatam throughout his entire life is no better than a chandala or an ass. The result of his birth was only his mother's delivery pains. Indra, the king of demigods in heaven, declares that the sinful man who never hears the topics of Bhagavatam is simply a burden to the earth. And although living, he is actually dead. Now we feel very much pity, isn't it? Oh, so many bombs are thrown, people are dying, they are already dead. One who does not study Bhagavatam, they are only a living body, living dead body. A living dead body, they never study Bhagavatam. So that is how this scenario is going to happen. One will kill another, another person will kill another person. But you see, in the same Ukraine, there are devotees who are staying. But there is no news. Instead, the devotees are distributing prasadam to the suffering ones. So that is the proof. Bhagavatam, one who studies Bhagavatam, Yamaraj will protect them, in fact. One who does not study Bhagavatam does not chant the holy name of Krishna, because Bhagavatam emphasizes on the chanting of the holy name. You take a Jamil Katha, you take Rudra Geet, you take any Katha. There is only a glorification of the chanting of the holy name. So there is only chanting of the holy name, the glorification of the chanting of the holy name. But if we don't do that, if we don't study Bhagavatam, even though Krishna 100 times he will say, Tesham Satayuktanam Bhajatam Priti Purvakam Dadami Buddhi Yogam Tam Yena Mamukayantite. Krishna clearly says 24 hours chant the holy name of Krishna. Tesham Satayuktanam. Satata means continuously be connected with me, Krishna says. But the mahima of this instruction or the importance of this instruction cannot be understood if we don't study different examples which has been given in or the leelas which has been given in Bhagavatam. That is why both has to be studied. One who does not study, the consequences has been given. One who does not have respect, the consequences again has been given. Then further, the word Yavana refers to a mlecha who does not follow proper behavior and is averse to Vedic literatures. See how the description of Yavana has been given. Who are Yavana? Yavanas are mlechas. Mlechas, they don't come in the category of Shudra also. In the Varnashrama, you have Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. They are all following. Varnashrama means one who has taken Ashraya of Krishna and is following the Vedic injunctions. One who does not follow the Vedic injunctions, they don't come even in the category of Shudras. They are known as Mlechas. In the Mahabharata, Adi 84.13 to 15, King Yayati curses Turvasu in the following words. O Turvasu, although you were born from my heart, you are not giving me your youth. Therefore, your sons will not inherit the kingdom. You fool, you will be the king of low-class persons who are chandalas, meat-eaters, or born from intercaste marriages. You will be the king of those sinful natures who are lusty for the wife of their guru. And those whose mentality and activities are no better than animals. So now the description of the miniatures, the sinful activities of the miniatures has been described. They are lusty for the wife of their guru. And then, however, their mentality is no better than animals. Animals means unrestricted sense enjoyment. So they are low persons. They are known as chandalas. Elsewhere in Mahabharata, Adi 85.34, it is said, the descendants of Yadu Maharaj are called Yadava Kshatriyas, and the descendants of Turvasu are known as Yavanas. The descendants of Dhruya are known as Bhojas, and the descendants of Anu are known as Mlechas. Again in Mahabharata Adi Leela, it is stated the Pahalavas were created from Nandini's tail, the Dravidas and Shankas from her udder, the Yavanas from her genitals, Shabaras and Bahunas from her dung. In the Ramayana, it is stated the Yavanas were born from the genital. The Harivamshaha says, keeping his promise and respecting the words of his guru, King Sagar did not kill those tribes but destroyed their religious principles and changed their dress. He shaved half the heads of the Shakas and full heads of Yavanas and Pahalavas. The following statement is found in the Manu Samhita. The Paundras, Cholas, Dravidas, Kambojas, Yavanas, Shakas, Paradas, Pahalavas, Chinnas, Kiratas, Dradas, and Khasas, all of who were not born from the mouth, arm, thighs, or feet of the Lord are called Dasyus, whether they speak the language of the Milchas or that of the Aryans. In the Praishchita Tattva, the Bodhayana Smriti is quoted as follows. Those persons who eat cow flesh, who always speak critically, and who are devoid of proper conduct, they are called mlechas. Persons born in the place called Yavana are called Yavanas. In the Vritta Chanakya, it is stated, wise persons have said that among thousands of Chandalas, one is a Yavana. There is no person more degraded than a Yavana. So among 1,000 Chandalas, there will be one Yavana. These Yavanas are very much interested in eating cow flesh because yesterday Vashisht Prabhu was giving the class on the importance of mother cow. The blood of cow is very sweet. That is why they like to eat cow flesh. They are all Yavanas. Muslims come in that. Yavanas, they are all Muslims. The Muslims who are interested in eating cow flesh, they come in this category. The living entities are born in higher and lower castes according to the fruits of their activities. By the influence of Sattva Guna, living entities are born in the families of Brahmanas. And by the influence of Rajo and Tamas, living entities are born in sinful lower castes like Yavanas. The living entities who are born in the family of Brahmana receive ample opportunity to become swan-like knowers of the absolute truth through the study of the Vedas. But the living entities who are born in the family of lower caste like Yavanas are not qualified to study the Vedic literatures. Srimad Bhagavatam is the ripened fruit of the desired tree of Vedic literature and the crest jewel of all scriptures. In the Bhagavatam, if you see first canto, second verse, third verse, Nigama kalpatarol galitam palam shukamukadamrtasava samnitam pibata bhagatam rasamalayam muhuraho tarasikaha uhi bhavukaha. So Nigama kalpataru. What is Bhagavatam? Bhagavatam is the source of everything. Nigama means, this Nigama word comes in LIC, as if they think they are the source. Actually, the Vedic literatures, everything emanates. The all tattvas emanates from Bhagavatam, Nigama. It is Kalpataru. You will say, how is it that even the Vedic literatures emanate from Bhagavatam? Vedic literatures, the essence of the Vedic literatures can be understood only when we study Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam is considered as the ripened fruit, which is not found in the Vedic literature but emanates from the Vedic literature only. But all the tattvas are there in Bhagavatam. That is why it is the source of everything, all the knowledge. It is a ripened fruit which is not found in this tree. And this ripened fruit is tasted by Shukha. Shukha is the parrot of Srimati Radharani, Sukadev Goswami. That is why this fruit is very, very sweet and it is found in the mouth of Sukadev Goswami. If it is not found in the tree of Vedic literature, then where is it found? It is found in the mouth of Sukadev Goswami. And this fruit is a special fruit with no seed and no outer covering. So it is full of juice, complete juice. So it said here, if someone is born in the family of a caste higher than that of Yamana and he unfortunately does not respect Bhagavatam, which is the personification of the devotional service to Krishna, the shelter of everyone, and equal to Krishna, then due to the lack of good instructions from the spiritual master, such misguided people become degraded to the status of foolish, uncultured Yavanas or no better than asses. So somebody is born in a caste higher than Yamana, maybe a Kshatriya or a Vaishya or a Shudra. But he is not having the fortune of the spiritual master, of getting the spiritual master, does not respect Bhagavatam. Then he has to come in this birth, Yavana birth. At present, in the pious land of India, there are people who belong to societies that are supposedly opposite to the non-Aryans. And although they unfortunately advertise themselves as followers of the Vedas, because they're extremely averse to understanding the meaning of the Srimad Bhagavatam, they are envious to its conclusions. There are so many so-called gurus. You see, this guru, that guru, Sadguru, so many gurus. Tell one guru who is teaching Bhagavatam. People, they crazily go there, having no purpose. There are so many. You see, art of living, any place. There are so many gurus in the market. But these gurus, are they really opening Bhagavatam and teaching Bhagavatam? No. But see the crowd of people who go there. But they are just interested in the illusory things shown by them. These people are considered to foolish as like Yavanas. On the other hand, although Haridas Thakur, he was born in the family of Yavanas, he was faithful to Srimad Bhagavatam and fully conversant with its conclusions. He was therefore the crest jewel of the Brahmanas and a swan-like pure devotee. Who is Haridas Thakur? The same Brahma who had stolen the calves of Krishna and the Gopa friends of Krishna. So he wanted to be punished by Krishna. He says, you gave me punishment, but let me always chant your name. So Krishna says, when I appear in the Chaitanya Leela, you will appear in the Yavana family. Though born in the Yavana family, you will be known as the Acharya for Japa. He is Japa Acharya. The one who teaches how to chant 192 rounds, he used to chant. 64 rounds in a slow voice, 64 rounds loudly, and 64 rounds Uddanda Kirtan he used to do. He is Namacharya. In this verse, the word Prabhu refers to one who is able to kill or protect. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, the Yamadutas spoke to Yamaraj as follows: the supreme judge must be one, not many. It was our understanding that you are that supreme judge and you have jurisdiction even more over the demigods. Our impression was that you are the master of all living entities, the supreme authority who discriminates between pious and impious activities of all human beings. So here Ajamil Katha has been spoken. So Yamadutas are completely bewildered. How come the Vishnudutas, they conquered these Yamadutas? And who is the supreme authority? They thought that their master Yamaraj is the supreme authority. In the Narsimha Purana and Vishnu Purana 3.7.15, it is stated, Sri Yamaraj, who judges the pious and impious activities of the living entities, offers his obeisances to the devotees of the Lord. and punishes those who are envious of Vishnu and the Vaishnavas by forcing them to suffer in hell according to the results of their activities. Rather than attaining eternal happiness, those who are averse to serving the Supreme Lord certainly suffer miseries born from their attempts to enjoy separately from the Lord. So here ends the purport. So Srila Prabhupada, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur very nicely quotes from different Puranas and Hari Bhakti Vilas and the verses from Bhagavatam, that how Bhagavatam is so important. If a person is not studying Bhagavatam, it implies that he is envious of Krishna and envious of the devotees. Any questions? Here we'll stop. Any questions? Any questions? Okay. Hare Krishna.